Angel Reese's former friend turned rival has been eyed as Caitlin Clark's perfect teammate at the Indiana Fever. Reese has enjoyed a whirlwind year, graduating from Louisiana State University and being the 7th overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. The 22-year-old landed at the Chicago Sky, where her impressive performances put her in contention for the Rookie of the Year award, though that was eventually won by Clark. Comparisons between the power forward and point guard Clark have been the focus for much of the year, with the Fever star managing to lead her team to the playoffs while Reese's injury left the Sky struggling. Now their rivalry could take another turn as Reese's former LSU teammate Flaugie Johnson is being urged to join Clark at the Fever. Johnson, who is preparing for her junior year at Baton Rouge, is one of the biggest names in women's college basketball. The 21-year-old played alongside Reese for 2 seasons at LSU, even lifting the NCAA championship together in 2023. The former SEC Rookie of the Year set tongues wagging recently by revealing her relationship with the Fever's new head coach, Stephanie White. Johnson commented on the Fever's appointment of White, who replaced Christy Side this month, and how she had wanted to recruit her while she was the head coach of Vanderbilt. Johnson said, "The Indiana Fever having Stephanie White as a head coach, I really like that. I love that. I feel like she's a player's coach. I even remember when she was recruiting me at Vanderbilt, I was like, I like this lady. I want to go play for her." She ended up leaving Vanderbilt. But if she would have stayed, I probably would have had Vanderbilt in real consideration. Johnson's revelation led to a buzz among Fever fans, who are excited at the prospect of her forming a backcourt partnership with the prodigious Clark. Should a move materialize, she would become a major rival of former teammate Reese, with their relationship having deteriorated earlier this year. Reese had previously been gushing in her praise of Johnson, saying in July, "She's done so many great things. Being able to still see her thrive and excel, I remember we were there last year together." That respect and friendship has seemingly dissipated, with Reese leaving Johnson out of a list of her favorite college basketball players during a sit-down with NBA legend Dwayne Wade. Amid rumors of growing animosity, the two former teammates' mothers went back and forth on social media recently. Reese's mother took a veiled yet pointed dig at Johnson's mother, Kia Brooks, on Instagram, writing, "Folks, PLS, do not send me long text MSGS with a bunch of grammatical errors. It gives me a headache. How do I know you said what you said if I can't understand what you're saying?" Brooks responded by saying, "You definitely know about grammar errors when your daughter got a 2.0 or less grade point average. Stop being petty, fake and hateful, and take responsibility for you and your daughter's actions." Johnson first opened up about her shifting friendship with Reese at the start of September, stating, "Yeah, me and Angel, we aren't as close as we used to be. But I still support her 1000%. I was proud of her, just being in the WNBA and breaking records." Johnson's mother has also dismissed the idea of her daughter joining the Sky in the WNBA, saying her preference is to join the Los Angeles Sparks instead. Caitlin Clark might have wowed basketball fans with her stunning rookie season in the WNBA, but it seems not everyone has been impressed. The 22-year-old racked up a host of records in 2024 and was duly named in the league's All-Star team at the end of the campaign. The Indiana Fever player is currently being targeted by the new 3x3 Unrivaled competition, although she is yet to confirm if she'll accept a big money offer. Regardless, she's been active during the offseason, attending Sunday's NBA clash between the Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks. Clark, an Iowa college graduate, watched the Pacers prevail 132-121. But while her appearance proved popular with the home crowd, commentator Walt Frazier wasn't so complimentary. After Mike Green said to Frazier, himself an icon of the sport, "There she is, sitting courtside," Caitlin Clark, the ex-New York Knicks player, seemed underwhelmed. "She doesn't look that formidable. I could stop her," he said. He followed up his comment by laughing, suggesting he may not have been serious with his jibe. Green responded with, "Just put a ball in her hand, she is spectacular to watch." Frazier is considered a legendary figure in his sport, having inspired the Knicks to titles in 1970 and 1973. In 2021, he was named in the NBA 75th anniversary team and has since become a renowned pundit. He's also previously lavished praise on Clark, who this year set WNBA single season and single game records in assists and broke the previous rookie's scoring marker. And as well as attending men's games, she's also used the winter break to boost her exploits in another sport. This month, she'll make her LPGA Tour debut at the Pelican Golf Club Florida, where she'll line up alongside the world's best in the Pro-Am. The event, named the Annika Driven, is being organized by Swedish icon Annika Sorenstam, who has hailed Clark's involvement as awesome. But in the meantime, speculation over her involvement in Unrivaled continues to mount. President Alex Basil has already declared the door is open for the point guard, with Fever teammates Aaliyah Boston and Lexie Hull having already signed up. "We're always going to have a roster spot for Caitlin Clark," he said. "We are not applying a full court press the way people think. We are letting her decompress from basketball. She knows that we have a spot for her when she's ready." Once you reach superstar status, it's only natural that people want to dig up everything about you, stories, photos, anything that captures the early moments of greatness. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, it's no different. Remember the widely shared childhood photo of lifelong fan Clark cheering the Kansas City Chiefs as she entered her second Final Four? The picture reached thousands. We see the phenom again as a picture of young Caitlin surfaces on the internet. This photo was captioned by one fan as "This bob cut they had on CC as a child is diabolical." For those who know her today as Iowa's pride and one of WNBA's rising stars, this unexpected glimpse into her childhood is more than just a throwback, it's a reminder of her roots. Coming from Des Moines, Clark didn't just happen upon her love for basketball, it's in the air she breathes. Iowa has a strong basketball legacy, with legends like Harrison Barnes, Fred Hoiberg, Machine Gun Molly Bolin, and Nick Collison calling the state home. Her dad, Brent Clark, who played both basketball and baseball, knows just how deep those roots go. "When I was in elementary school, it was the thing to go to the girls' state basketball tournament. There was a bracket on every school teacher's door. This culture of support, it's sorta ingrained in the state of Iowa," he shared. But while she grew within this strong tradition, CC was no stranger to fighting her own battles on the court. As her grandfather fondly recalls, 5-year-old Caitlin once fearlessly faced off with a much bigger boy in her youth league. With her dad as her coach, the 2024 Roddy was on the verge of tears from this kid's constant rough play. But after a quick break, she stormed back onto the court, not to score, but to teach him a lesson. She sent him rolling out of bounds and stood over him as if to say, "Mess with me, and that's what you get." Her grandparents knew right then that she was something special. Clark's fearlessness as a kid has obviously grown with her, helping her shatter records as a rookie for the Indiana Fever. Yet even with her achievements, fans are still finding plenty of joy in this nostalgic picture. Their reactions to her childhood photo are priceless. Before she was breaking records in the WNBA, before she was shining for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Clark was just a core Iowa kid. And Midwesterners never leave a chance to remind us, it's their thing. As one fan chimed in, "If you grew up in Iowa, you had 2 to 3 bad haircuts. I don't make the rules," establishing Clark as a true Iowan. Then there was this sarcastic comment that said, "No wonder she's so tough mentally." Undoubtedly, the Hooper has shown resilience, but fans believe getting through this haircut was her toughest battle. At the same time, plenty of fans are melting over the childhood photo. Caitlin Clark may have had a breakthrough rookie season with Indiana Fever, but one NBA legend has joked that she isn't too formidable. The 22-year-old signed with the Fever as the first overall pick of the 2024 WNBA draft back in May, after having an impressive collegiate career with Iowa and clinching gold at various FIBA events at under 19 and under 16 level. She was named the WNBA's Rookie of the Year after a whirlwind maiden season in Indiana, breaking a number of long-standing records while guiding the side to their first playoff run since 2016. And with an abundance of prestige despite only being a pro for one season, Clyde Frazier recently joked that Clark hasn't impressed him as much as she has others. Sizing up Clark as she made a courtside appearance during the New York Knicks' recent 132-121 loss to Indiana, Mr. Cool said, "She doesn't look that formidable. I could stop her." Mike Breen, who was the play-by-play commentator for the night, meanwhile laughed, before he clapped back, "Just put a ball in her hand, she is spectacular to watch." Naismith Memorial Hall of Famer Frazier enjoyed an illustrious career with the New York Knicks between 1967 and 1977, picking up 7 NBA All-Star awards and having his number 10 jersey retired after helping the side achieve 2 championships in 1970 and 1973 respectively. The pair of titles remain the only NBA championships that the Knicks have ever won in history. The point guard moved on to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1977, spending just 3 seasons with the outfit and playing 66 games in total before retiring after suffering persistent foot injuries. Clark received 66 of the 67 total votes to be named the WNBA's Rookie of the Year this season, the remaining vote going to Chicago Sky's Angel Reese, after smashing through a number of records and leading the Fever into an exciting year on the courts. The youngster set 11 records in total, including the most assists for a single season, 337, and the most assists in a single game, 19. The WNBA star was spotted courtside at the Pacers vs. Knicks game at the weekend alongside Connor McCaffrey, a former team assistant with Indiana who currently works as a basketball coach at Butler University. The two met when they both studied at the University of Iowa, with McCaffrey graduating last May with bachelor's degrees in finance and political science. Like Clark, McCaffrey also played basketball at college, arriving as a 4-star recruit in 2017, claiming a number of lucrative accolades in his playing days. He was named a 5-time Academic All-Big Ten honoree, a 2-time Academic All-District First-Teamer and an NABC Honors Court honoree, according to sources. "I'll become a professional golfer," Caitlin Clark humorously said after the Indiana Fever ended their playoff journey in round 1. Who knew she would be this serious? Always finding an escape on the greens, the Rookie of the Year has committed herself to the upcoming Pro-Am, the Annika. Not only will she be playing with top-class names in the sport, including Annika Sorenstam herself and Nelly Korda, but the Fever number 22 will take a much-needed break from basketball while still staying active. Now the question is, if her competitive nature takes over and she wins, will Clark receive a monetary prize? For the Annika driven by the Gainbridge tournament, the Fever guard will team up with 2 golf greats. The Pro-Am part of it means the amateur will tee off with a professional, and Clark gets 2. The front 9 will be played with world number 1 Nelly Korda and the back 9 with the host herself. But sadly, even if the competitive hooper wins, CC will not receive any of the $3.25 million prize money. Why? Because she's a celebrity. According to the Annika website, there will be a $3.25 million purse shared between the winning participants. This is one of the highest amounts that the LPGA Tour has summed up. Back in 2022, the prize purse was $2 million, with the winner receiving $300,000, according to LPGA's 15% payout pattern. This year, similar to last year, the purse is at $3.25 million. This means the winner will get $487,500. However, no celebrities participating in the event claimed the winnings. Plus there is the question of her defeating defending champion and world number 2 Lilia Vu. The Iowa sensation, who has been golfing since she was a kid, will take part in her second Pro-Am after taking part in the John Deere Classic Pro-Am in 2023 as a Hawkeye. Then, just after her disappointing loss to Angel Reese's LSU in the finals, Clark was at the TPC Deere Run for a break from basketball, similar to how she's spending her off-season this year. While it began as something to get away from the gym, as her coaches told her to do, sports could not be given up altogether. You can clear your mind, do something you really love, and have the peace and quiet of just your friends around or even just yourself, Clark told Golf Digest last year. "I love being able to escape reality for a little bit." And as if she were Tiger Woods, fans love following her on the greens too. The TPC Deere Run golf course had a huge gallery following number 22 last year, probably thanks to its proximity to Des Moines. But this year, given the odd timings of her game, some fans might be able to catch her on television. The Pro-Am event begins the day after Caitlin Clark will tee it up, aka November 14th. She will be on the course at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday, with her round originally not planned to be broadcasted for fans who couldn't make it to the Pelican Golf Club in the middle of a work week, meaning a majority of Clark's fan base. So they took to personally reaching out to the LPGA in hordes, and the LPGA responded. Sports Business Journal's Josh Carpenter reported last week that along with the official tournament social channels, the LPGA will now live stream Clark's range warm-up. Additionally, an in-round walk and talk interview, a 90-minute early airing of Golf Today, 11 a.m. ET, on Wednesday, November 13th will also take place. Looks like the Caitlin Clark effect has gone beyond basketball yet again. A large audience might anyway be present the previous day, when the Indiana star takes part in the Women's Leadership Summit panel, and they'll get to see their favorite with the golf club, rubbing elbows with Annika Sorenstam and Nelly Korda. If there's one thing for certain, it's how Nebraska loves collegiate volleyball. Fans of the Nebraska Huskers are never too shy to cheer for their team with harmony every time they lock horns with their NCAA opponents. And the team's latest bout against the Washington Huskies wasn't different either. On November 9th, John Cook's team stomped over the Washington squad with its 18th clean sweep of the season. However, there was still something that the Nebraska fans were irked about. In the Big Ten Conference, the Huskers are on a stellar run. Boasting a perfect 14-0 record, the 2023 NCAA runners-up team is looking to bring home the title this time around. And yet, things got a little tense when, after their victory at the Alaska Airlines Arena, one interviewer opined the Huskers fans were feeling the Caitlin Clark effect. But the Lincoln loyalists, being the volleyball connoisseurs they are, had only good things to say about Washington's milestone from the match.